Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to Gaming on Board. Tonight we're trying something a little different with the audio, so let me know if you notice any difference between this video and our older videos. I've got this little lapel microphone here. But anyways, we're going to take a look at a two-player only game by Plaid Hat Games. And this is all cards with a really cool board. Talking about Crystal Clans. So that you'll have a lot of different clans to choose from. They all have their own different abilities, and I feel like it's a really well balanced game, that at least the ones I've played so far. The artwork's really amazing. I like the action point allowance, how you're shifting it back and forth, and your decisions actually affect the other player's turn and what they're able to do. The only thing negative I would have to say about it right now is the battle resolution, and I'll show you when we get down to the table. There's a lot of math, so you have to keep track of the attack and the defense as you go through resolving the battle. But that's it. I mean, that's not a big deal. That's something you just, Anyway, let's go down to the table and check out Crystal Clans by Plaid Hat Games. Alright, so this is Crystal Clans by Plaid Hat Games. The wonderful people who brought us Dead of Winter, among other things. So you see it's got a real whimsical fantasy artwork. You've got some good display options, a really cool vertical one here, the horizontal one you just saw. There you go. So however you want to display it, should be good to go. And it just looks really cool on the shelf. I mean, here's the rule book. The rules, I didn't really have any issues with the rules. I didn't have to go back and look at too much. The only thing that was kind of confusing was the resolving battle cards. But I think I've got it right. So forgive me if I've got it wrong in this video, but really cool rule book. They got a glossary of terms in the back in case you have any questions, real detailed explanations, and cool artwork from the different clans throughout. So there you go. So in Crystal Clans, you'll be spending action points, which is indicated here by the little crystal that's there. And basically you can continue to take, you're actually required to continue taking actions until it has moved beyond the blue line on the other side of the track. So if the crystal's still here, you're going to have to continue to take actions until you've pushed it into your opponent's little point area initiative, I think is what it's called in this game. And then you'll see on each side of the board, you'll have a home location, you'll have the deck, the graveyard. It's even got little tombstones and stuff there. It's pretty cool. And then you'll see these 4 battlefield areas and these 3 crystal areas. So the point of the game is to get 4 crystals from the crystal deck. And to get a crystal, you will have to control 2 of these crystal areas. And by control, it means you're the only person with units on that location. So, and then you'll use one of your actions to score, or basically buy a crystal. So that's the main goal of the game. And there will be a crystal deck, which I forgot to set out here. They have a bunch of crystals. Here's the back. And there you go. So it'll be a bunch of different types of crystals, and they'll each have their own ability, which sometimes might require you to flip them face down, or it happens when you score this crystal. But even if it's face down, it still counts towards your 4 crystal victory condition. So these will be over here. There will always be 3 available to score. And when you score, these are big pushes in initiative. So you'll have to spend 8. So you'll have to control 2 of these locations and then be able to spend 8. And you're basically giving the opponent a good following turn. But on your turn, you'll have a few options. And depending on which clan you choose, you'll have a different signature ability. For the Skull clan, they have Undying, which means they can summon units with the Undying ability from the graveyard to a squad, or to the home area, because that's where you always summon to. And then, you know, each clan will have a different ability, but we're just taking a look at the Skull clan. So on your turn, these are available actions. You can summon up to 3 units from your hand to your home base. You can activate a unit, and I'll show you what that is. And during activation, you can reorder them, move them, and then if you're on the same space as another player, as your opponent, because this is just a 2-player game, you can choose to initiate battle. Another option is scoring. That's what I was explaining with the crystals. If you control 2 crystal areas, you can score a crystal. If you need some cards, you can replenish. That costs 3 initiative no matter what. So you'll move this little crystal here 3 spaces. And you'll discard as many cards as you want and then draw back up to a total hand size of 5. Another option is to invade. That always costs 3 initiative, and you can only invade if you are in your opponent's home base and you are the only squad there. So you can pay 3 and make your opponent discard cards from their deck equal to the total attack power of your squad. And that's really a big deal in this game, because if you ever have to reshuffle your discard pile to create a new draw pile, then the opponent gets a crystal for free. So they get 1 out of 4 points for free if you ever have to shuffle your discard to create a new draw pile. But anyway, you'll start with 5 cards. The first player will. Whoever's going second gets 1 additional card. And you'll take a look at your cards. So there's a few different things on these cards. First, this is the summoning cost. So you'll have to pay that many initiative to bring this 1 unit out. And remember, the summon is up to 3 units from your hand to your home base. So if I wanted to bring out these 3, you would add up all their summoning costs. So it would be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 initiative right off the bat to bring these out. So I'll put those there. I'll move this 8. Since it's at the 0, we'll just go straight to 8. And that would be the end of my turn, because I've passed this far blue line. And then I would be ready to go. Then the next player would do whatever they wanted. They might, let's say they bring some stuff out that costs a total of 5. And then they'll spend 3 to draw some cards. And then they'll move their units, which puts it back over to the 3 on my side. So then it's back to me. I want to move these guys out, because if you were to ever summon or move a squad into a space that already contains a squad, they then get combined into a new squad. So if I was to even summon 1 more here, this would combine here, and there's a 3-unit limit to each squad, with the exception of 1 clan that can have larger squads. So I'd have to go through all these and then choose which 3 I want to keep and discard the 1 that I don't want to keep. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to move. So anytime you move, it's the activation action. And you take a look at this green bar with the movement arrows here, and you find the highest value. Whatever the highest value is, that's all you have to pay. You don't add everything together and pay that. So in this case, I would have to pay 2, 1, 2, and I can move these 1 space to any adjacent spot. So right now, that's just this crystal spot and this regular spot. So I can first off reorder them if I want, because if you ever see an ability with this flame symbol, that means battlefield. It's only applicable in the battlefield. So, and it's only active if they're the leader, or they're the top card. So this is considered the top, this is considered the bottom. So if they're on top, that's active. So I'm going to move this guy to the top. So that's reorder. And I'm going to move them here. And if the other player had a squad here, then I could initiate battle. But they don't. So that's it. That's my activation. Now let's see. I only have 2 cards left. So I need to replenish. It always costs 3 to replenish. And 1, 2, 3. Puts it over into the 2 on their side. So I'm not giving them a whole lot to work with on their next turn, and I'm filling my hand up. I could discard these if I wanted to, one or both of them, but I don't. They're pretty good. So I'm going to draw 3 more cards to bring me back up to a 5-card hand. So there's my replenish action. Goes on to the next player's turn. Let's say they activate these guys. That's 1, 2. They move into here, and they want to battle. So the way battle works is you will first, you'll both choose a card from your hand to be your battle card. And when you're doing battle, when you're choosing a battle card, you want to look at these bottom areas here. So this is the symbol that's going to trigger their card. And whatever they choose is going to trigger one of these 2. So if they play Tricky, which is this tail, it'll activate this ability. If they play Bold or Grounded or something like that, Guarded, if they choose any of those 2, it's going to trigger this ability. So no matter what, I'm getting 2 attack added. But if they choose Tricky, I'll also get to negate 3 of their attack power. So I'll go ahead and choose that. And let's just choose one randomly for them. So we both got our battle cards down. We flip them up at the same time. And I like to do it like this, because you can easily see what triggers what. So I'll be triggering a +2 defense on their card. Let me bring this up here so you can see it. So this is the trigger for them, which is this portion. So they're going to negate 2 of my attack. And then they're triggering this, which is going to give me +2 attack. So they basically cancel each other out. And now we can resolve battle as normal. And this was the part I was talking about that was kind of a pain to keep up with. So your attack is the red bar here, and you add them all together and make sure to look at their the leader's ability, the person on top's ability. So when this squad destroys 1 or more enemy units, I gain an initiative. So I would actually, even if it's on their turn, I would move the initiative crystal towards my side. So it's taking points away from them potentially, or making my next turn better. But anyways, my attack here is 13, and my defense, add the blue bar up here as defense, is 9. Their attack is 5, and their defense is 7. And they have a special ability. When the squad moves into a zone, you may pay the activation cost of a unit in that zone to place it in its controller's home. So technically when they moved in here, they could have paid 2 to move this back to my home, and then they would have controlled this area without even having to battle, which is pretty powerful. But all these clans have really powerful stuff. Let's assume they didn't do that. So like I said, I have 13 attack here. He's got 7 block here. So the 13 would hit him first and kill this 4, which would take the 13 down to 9. His 5 would hit this 5, kill it, and take his attack down to 0. So now it's, 9 attack against 0 attack, because he used all of his attack power to kill my first unit. So 9 minus 3 would take me down to 6 attack. This guy would live because he only had 0 attack power left, and that would be the end of it. So I would remain. Both of his units were killed and go to his discard pile, or her discard pile. And then this would go to the discard pile as well, the battle cards that we used. There is a little symbol on some of them that has a little card with an arrow going up. That means you take it back into your hand, but in this case that didn't show up. So this one is the one of mine that died. It'll also go to the graveyard. So then let's say they just, I don't know, they'll draw some cards, right? So they spend 3 more. It's on the 4 on my side. Now I've got a unit here, and let's say I just want to make a power move real quick. I only have 4 left. See if I have something cheap I can bring out. Here we go. I can bring this guy out for 2. 1, 2. I'll just bring him out by himself. And let's see, yeah. He's cost 2 to activate. So 1, 2, I'm going to move him here. 1, 2, I'm going to move him here. So I just brought a cheap unit out, moved him twice, so now that I control 2 crystal areas, and hopefully if he doesn't do anything on his next turn, I can score. So we've gone through summon, activate, replenish. We haven't talked about invade, but we went through an entire battle scenario. So that's pretty much it. Let's just say the other player summoned a few units and then moved out here, but that was all he could do because he didn't have a lot of initiative. Now it's my turn. I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, yeah, I already control 2. I'm gonna immediately score. So I'll take this one for 8, right? And then I'll move this 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Only losing with 5. That's not too bad. And when I gain this crystal, I get to choose a unit on the battlefield, and if it's common, I get to return it to its controller's hand. If it's a hero, it goes back to the home zone. And what they mean by that is there's a bunch of different attributes to these things. So this is a psychic common from the Water Clan. So this is a common. I could choose this and send it back to my opponent's hand. So, and I've got 1 out of the 4 points that I need. So that's really good right there. Let's just say, so I can give you an example, that I had this clan where later on in the game, and somehow I made it all the way up here to my opponent's home area, and she has nothing over there at all. So I'm like, well, perfect opportunity. Oh, where is that card? Here it is. Okay, perfect opportunity to invade. Okay, even if I only had 1 left, you can still spend as many as you want. You're just making your opponent's turn better. So I'm in there all alone. I'm going to pay 3 and invade. 1, 2, 3. I look at my squad. They have 11, 13 attack. So now my opponent has to discard 13 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Boom. Into the graveyard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They only have 7 cards left. So after they go through these 7 cards, they're going to have to reshuffle this discard pile to be their new draw pile, and I'll immediately get a crystal for free. Boom. I'm halfway to winning. So there you go. That's Crystal Clans. It's really cool. The different clan abilities are amazing. It really hurts when you're on the other side of somebody that's getting to pull off some of their really powerful stuff, but then later on in the game you get to do the same thing, and it's really fun. Like I said, the artwork's really great. I love how when you're making the decisions, you're deciding how potentially good or bad the other player's turn is going to be, and all these crystal abilities are really amazing, sometimes game-changing stuff as well. So there you have it, Crystal Clans by Plaid Hat Games. This is designed by Andre Metzatero and Colby Dock, as well as J. Arthur Ellis. I know I got your names horribly wrong. I apologize. But yeah, definitely check this out. It is available at Cape Fear Games and CapeFearGames.com. If they don't have it, they'll order it for you. And be sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed this video. Also, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We post there almost daily. And let us know, or let me know, what you think about the audio on this video compared to some of our older ones. Go back and check them out. We have close to 200 videos now. We're trying to increase the quality of these videos as much as we can with the little amount of money that we have available. So yeah, thanks for watching, and don't forget to always play all the games.